Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's almost time!
What up, everybody? This is a special Tuesday edition of It's Almost Time, presented by A Real Ninjas Network. With you as always. I don't think I missed an episode yet, and I'm pretty proud to say that. But my name's A1. You can call me whatever you want. Glad if you're tuning in. If not, y'all need to get familiar. With me tonight, I've got my co-host, Mr. Paul Wilby.
What up?
Unfortunately, Mr. Breddington will not be with us this evening, or if he is, it's going to be last minute and with a miracle because he's having some technical issues. So we going to run this thing. Also, remind me, too, before next Sunday when we run our next show, I have an updated version of the intro. Should fit the screen perfectly. I just keep forgetting to upload it.
They're like switching up my schedule.
So we will be good there.
Like this
this is It's Almost Time, and this is the UFC Fight Night Live post-fight for Alex Perez versus Tatsuro Taira. Before we get into everything that happened, and full disclosure, I missed like half of the fights, was out on a boat, just doing my thing, breaking toes. We're gonna cover some fight news because there's been quite a bit of things changing. I can't even think of the word. It's been a clusterfuck over the past week. There's been several different changes to several different cards, and I'm gonna try to cover all of them. We're gonna try to go probably in order as far as the most popular news. And Conor McGregor out due to injury for UFC 303. He was scheduled to fight Michael Chandler finally, after like 2 years, in the main event for UFC 303. Oh, and we got a kitty coming in and joining us. Hell yeah. But yeah, McGregor out due to injury. Now that could just be the face story. There was a press conference was scheduled to happen over in Dublin, Ireland, and it got canceled. I think it was like 2 days before it was scheduled to happen. They sold tickets for it and everything. It got postponed and then ultimately canceled. There was no word for a good week on what was happening. It looked really bad and then kind of good and then bad again. They're saying he's out due to injury. Depending on who you talk to, it might not be that bad of an injury. But if you talk to the right person, it could be the same leg that he broke and has the titanium rod in. Could be damaged again. So that is on hold for now. Stepping in on 2 weeks' notice, the new main event for UFC 303 is going to be Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka #2. Now, these two actually originally stepped in on short notice against each other when the Jamal Hill fight got canceled. He went out with the Achilles, or at least I think it was that fight. Either way, I know they both stepped in on like few weeks' notice to fight for the vacant light heavyweight title. If you tuned in, you already know. Pereira won by second round TKO and has been the light heavyweight champion ever since. Yuri went on to fight. Also, actually, both of these fighters' last fought was UFC 300. You had Yuri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic, which ended in a second round KO, but not after Yuri had taken a bunch of damage. And then the main event of 300 was Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill for the undisputed light heavyweight championship. That ended in a first round KO. If you ask me, I feel like Alex took a lot less damage compared to Yuri's fight. But they're both turning around, got about 2 weeks of prep. Shouldn't be too hard of a prep. I know Pereira keeps himself well maintained. He's always training, always doing something in the gym. And the same with Yuri. He's a fucking warrior. So My guess is both of these guys is going to be good to go. Paul, what's your take on all of this change for the 303?
I'm kind of inclined to agree with Chael when Chael said, this was probably a couple weeks ago, he said, make no mistake about it. Or maybe he crossed his legs right before he did it too. Make no mistake about it. If Conor McGregor does not make it to the fight that night, he will never fight again.
So you think he's done?
I don't really know, but like, I mean, this was as locked in as it gets. No,
yeah, we had a date. We had press conferences. You had tickets on sale. You had promos up. I mean, you had the whole nine. The only thing that didn't happen was the press conference and the fight.
Yeah, see, I don't know, man. I guess, I mean, if it's actually a legitimate injury, then maybe we will see him again. But it's like, I don't know.
Hey,
like
Mr. Undefeated though also was just on recently talking to DC Daniel Cormier and was saying, "Hey, make no mistake about this. This is not an injury. Conor pulled out due to going to rehab for substances and alcohol."
Really?
Wow. That came from Chael's mouth, but you also got to remember Chael is in Brazil right now. He just had a fight over the weekend, a boxing exhibition match with him and Anderson Silva, which ended in a draw. Doesn't surprise me a lot of times with these exhibition matches. If somebody doesn't go to sleep, they usually just say, "Hey, y'all both winners. Y'all both getting paid."
Did you see the interview where Chael said they both won, even though it was a draw, because Anderson finally won a round against Chael and Chael didn't lose to Anderson? He said he's never won a round against me, but I've never won a fight against him.
I mean, he won that 5th round of their first fight. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I think he's talking about like score-wise. Like, if
oh no, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I love when these fighters, like, I think it was after Sean O'Malley and Aljo fought for the title, and O'Malley starched him in the second. They were interviewing O'Malley, and they're like, how do you think you did in the first round? He's like, well, I had good takedown defenses. I thought I might have won that round, and I guess all 3 judges had given it to Aljo. And O'Malley, one of the greatest clapbacks I've ever seen in a post-fight interview, he goes, well, how did they score the second?
Yeah, I remember that one actually. Yeah,
that was bars. But yeah, so Alex versus Yuri 2, any predictions as far as how this one plays out?
how did Alex won the first one, right?
Yep, second round TKO. Although there's a bit of controversy. Some people thought he wasn't out, and then it got stopped a little early. Personally, I thought it was a decent stoppage. I wouldn't mind seeing it have gone a little further, but just the way he buckled after got hit with the nice right-left combo, the left hook dropped him, and then he started peppering them elbows while Yuri was trying to take him down, and his legs buckled backwards. He fell into Yuri's. Basically, he got Yuri full mounted, but after he buckled, the refs, saw enough, stopped it. Yuri didn't contest it, but that's the warrior he is. Whatever the ref says, I don't think he's trying to take the easy way out or the punk's way out and then claiming controversy. I've also heard people say that Yuri thought it was the end of the round when they stopped it, so that he was a little out of it. But I think a good fight. Like, I think both of them have a legitimate chance at actually winning this. I'm team Pereira. I have been probably since he moved up to light heavy. I was team Alex the first Izzy fight, and then when they rematched, I was actually pulling for Izzy. I wanted to see Izzy get it back, and he did. But ever since Pereira has gone up to 205, I've really liked this dude. I really like what he's done for the sport, and I mean, this guy in November will hit his 3-year mark that he's even been on the UFC roster. And the guy's fucking resume is immaculate. Like, five champion or former champions beat. He did beat Strickland before he became a champion, so I kind of don't like that argument. But he's done nothing but beat elite competition. It's not a fluke. This dude knows what he's doing. And he's been carrying the UFC. I mean, he steps in when it needs to happen. His social media content is fucking hilarious. The dude speaks hardly any English, and yet has the attention of basically all of America and the world. Like, people love this guy.
Leo.
Yuri, though, is a straight up warrior. He kind of throws caution to the wind as far as defense, and it's all offense. I think the thing that's going to hurt Yuri in this fight, though, is the damage he took in that Rakic fight, because that first round was almost identical to the first round when him and Alex fought. Alexander Rakic was just peppering that leg, like literally had that leg welted and compromised within 2 minutes of that fight. But Yuri weathered the storm, got some good shots in at the end of the first, and then completely changed the complexion of the fight in the second round. Got him really hurt, got him down, ground and pounded, stopped, got himself a $300,000 bonus that night. So, final prediction, though, I'm, again, Team LX. I think he did it once. I think he's going to do it again, and probably even more definitive. I think Yuri goes out on his shield this time. I don't think there's going to be any controversy, so to speak. I feel like that Alex, they're both progressing, but I feel like Alexis has really progressed. Co-main event also got switched around on 303. It was originally supposed to be Carlos Ulberg versus Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill is going to be out, hold on, due to injury, and let me get to my banners because I know I have these set up. Yeah, Jamal Hill out due to an injury. Carlos Ulberg and Anthony Smith are going to fight. That's not going to be the co-main. The new co-main event is Diego.
Yeah, fuck Jamal Hill. Get his ass out of here.
They said he hurt his knee. I said, nah, he hurt his pussy. Like, this dude's been talking too much shit. He's still in his head, and he's still fucking salty about the stoppage and how it played out at 300. He's claiming all this controversy. I don't want to hear it. Like, dude, you got slapped. You're allowed to.
He hasn't started bitching about the fucking athletic commission for not letting him fight and blaming it on them like everything else. He blames on everyone else. He can never take accountability for anything.
Wait, he was blaming the athletic commission for this new fight that he got pulled off of?
No, I said I'm surprised he hasn't yet, because he's always blaming everybody else for everything. He's like, oh, I wanted to fight, but the commission wouldn't let me.
I've never seen a dude lose aura so fast in the UFC other than Jamal Hill. Just the way
I always hated him, dude. I never understood why anybody liked him. I think he's the same as he's always been.
I like the entertainment aspect. The dude went out there and threw. The dude went out there and wasn't bad. He was starching some good competition. He had that nice flash knockout of Johnny Walker. Worked his way up the ranks, but the way he boasts about beating Glover Teixeira, it's like, bro, you beat a shell of a former competitor and Glover. Glover was already kind of on his way out. I feel like he was in his 40s. He was ready to hang it up. And you said that you dog walked this dude, or it was like the biggest ass whooping in championship history. Y'all went to a decision. You couldn't sleep, or you couldn't TKO a 42-year-old man and want to talk about it's the most lopsided victory in championship history. Nah.
And he said he was going to beat Poatan at his own game and then got absolutely fucking worked like the moron that he is.
Yep. Got him with the low blow, touched the gloves, and actually threw his own, I think it was a left hand, before he got hit with the left counter. So his argument is invalid. He's coping at this point. And again, I get what he's trying to do.
He has no accountability. And nothing is ever his fault.
Well, and he basically, I feel like if he keeps complaining or he doesn't admit that he got bested, it's going to help his chances of getting a rematch. Like, bro, you can't even make it to fight rank number 11. Like, you got another injury, man. So focus on healing, get back into it, and work your way back up, man. You young enough that if you,
I don't think so. I think he should retire.
Well, but if he's him and he wants to get it, he needs to work for it. You don't get to sit out. You don't get sleep definitively, and then turn around and get an immediate rematch. You never technically had the actual fucking belt. You never beat the champion to become the champion. You got gifted a belt because Yuri was kind enough to vacate the title when he got injured. So when Alex and Yuri fought, that was the first time that actual belt was on the line. And yes, Pereira was the belt holder, but Yuri was still the champion in my eyes. And with that victory, Pereira truly became the champion that night. Now they're going to run it back here in 2 weeks. And like I said, the new co-main event is going to be Diego Lopez, ranked number 14, against number 3, Brian T-City Ortega. I like this fight. I like this fight for Lopez. Don't get me wrong. Ortega, I think, has 3 losses on his career, and it's all been against elite competition. He lost to Max, he lost to Volkanovski, and I'm not sure about the third one. But I do know that his losses have came to the hands of very elite fighters. Even Yair Rodriguez had this dude hurt bad in the first round of their fight. And Ortega fought through it. I think it was more so because his ex, Tracy Cortez, was in the crowd, and he wasn't about to lose to her after all that drama that was going on between them. That would have just been too much for his pride. So he fought through it. He actually he basically injured himself jumping in the pre-fight announcements. Was jumping up and down and rolled his ankle or something like that. And I was like, oh shit, that's not good for him right before you're getting ready to fight. But yeah, he got through some adversity and was able to get Rodriguez out of there. Lopez, though, has been on a tear since he joined the organization. He took a last-minute fight, literally had days to prepare for Mosvar Evloev, who's one of the most dominant up-and-coming prospects at 145 pounds right now. I think went to a decision with them and lost, I think it was like 29-28 or something like that on his debut. Since then, he's been undefeated. He actually just beat number 14 ranked Sadiq Youssef at UFC 300. And yeah, took this fight on short notice again, just a couple weeks to fight number 3. I'm gonna call it now. If Lopez beats Ortega, his next fight will either be for a number 1 contender or, if possible, the winner of Topuria and Holloway. So I'm pretty sure I saw that was official for UFC 306 at the Sphere. Let's see. So yeah, Jamal Hill out due to injury. Carlos Ulberg was his opponent. Anthony Smith is stepping up on short notice to fight Carlos Ulberg. And watch this shit. I'm gonna call it now. If Anthony Smith does what I don't think he's gonna do, if he actually goes out there and he beats Ulberg, he's gonna find a way to call out Pereira. This dude is jabbed and just ran his mouth nonstop about how Alex is caught lightning in a bottle and he's very beatable. And oh, if I get him down to the ground and I get his back, I 100% will submit him. Blah, blah, like, dude's talking a mess of shit. And I think he's doing it because he's trying to position himself to get another title shot. Anthony Smith, you're not bad as a commentator, but you are not championship or champion material. Like, the fact that you got a shot against John Jones is because there was nobody else in the division at that time for him to fight. You were streaking a little bit. You talked a bunch of shit about how John Jones isn't all that good and he's beatable. And then you had you laid one of the worst eggs as far as performances in your career. Let's see. What else do we have for fight news? Oh, I don't even think I made. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Khamzat is out of his fight next weekend against Robert Whitaker. So Whitaker is now going to be facing Ikram Alaskarov, who was originally my parlay pick for this last week. I'm kind of pissed because I had to call a last minute replacement. I got it in, and I picked Garrett Armfield. And needless to say, without spoiling too much, he fought Heistand. I can't think of the dude's first name right now. Hold on. Give me my cheat sheet. Yeah, Brady Heistand and Garrett Armfield fought. And this actually got a performance of the night bonus for Heistand. But yeah, we'll get into that. Let me see. One more piece of fight news, not necessarily MMA related, but Jake Paul versus Mike Perry on July 20th. Paul says he's still planning to fight Mike Tyson in November, but in the meantime, since he's had his training camp and he found an opponent, Platinum Mike Perry, the BKFC King, is going to be taking on Jake Paul. I'm just hoping that he doesn't take that bag and take the dive and just shows up and actually shows Paul what's up. He's been talking shit for a minute. Not Paul, but Perry, about wanting to fight this guy. I think back in February he was on Ariel Helwani talking about how, yeah, he really wanted to fight Paul and show him what a real fighter was like. So let's hope he does it. That one, yeah, a little over a month away. Should be decent. It's not what everybody wanted. Technically, I could care less to even fucking watch Jake Paul fight with this gimmick shit, but you got somebody like Platinum Mike Perry, an actual legit fighter, stepping in to fight him. I might check it out. With all that said, that's a lot of MMA news in a short period of time, man. So we'll just get into the card. Like I said, I missed a good half of this card last weekend. The Taira versus Perez. It started out the night. Josephine Knudsen versus Julia Polastri. I actually watched this fight. We were kind of watching on the boat, kind of not. Knudsen with a unanimous decision victory. A lot of people thought it was closer than that. I actually wouldn't have been surprised myself if it was a split decision, but Knudsen did enough throughout the fight. And in the final minutes of the third round, I feel like, yeah, she got what she deserved, and that was a victory. Nurembeki Shaileon versus Malquizio Costa. This ended in the third round, a minute 50 in, with a face crank submission. I actually did catch the end of this when it was happening, and he was going for the rear naked. It wasn't deep enough, but he literally had his orifices covered, and yeah, squeezed him out, got him to tap, got the victory there. Let me see. I know there's a couple. Okay, yeah, none of those got any kind of performance of the nights or anything like that.
I think I only saw the first two fights, but I don't know how that happened.
So you don't even remember yourself?
Nope.
Gotcha. It's all good. It's all
I think
good.
I had it on, but I was playing cards.
Yep, I think that's what you were saying. Yep. I got Sherdog as a handy dandy cheat sheet, so I'd definitely be able to say everything that happened. Next fight was Weston Wilson versus Jacare Sergey. This was a first round finish by Wilson by a triangle armbar. So not bad. I'm going to have to go back and watch some of these because I heard there's I know one fight for sure I definitely missed that. It sounded like it was a banger of a fight. It actually got fight of the night bonuses. But I'll get to that when we get to it.
The door.
Actually, it's the next fight. Yeah, Carly Judas versus Gabriela Fernandez. This ended in a split decision with Fernandez getting the dub, but fight of the night. So they both got a bonus on that one. Again, I don't remember watching this fight, so I can't really say. I know for sure if the right person got the nod, but I'm gonna have to go back and peep it just because again they got fight of the night. So I'm gonna check it out. Next up on the prelims was Nate Maness versus Jimmy Flick. Maness with a unanimous decision victory, so probably nothing too much to write home about. Adam Fugit versus Josh Quinlan ended in a split decision with Adam Fugit getting the split victory. Actually, man, there was a lot of decisions and a lot of subs on this card. Asul Amabayev versus Jose Johnson. Amabayev with a unanimous decision victory. Again, performance of the night went to Brady Hiestand versus Garrett Armfield. This fight was actually back and forth. Like I said, Armfield was my replacement fighter last minute for the Parlay Friends or the Parlay Pals. And this one actually started out really strong for Armfield. Almost got him with an armbar submission in the first and almost forgot.
Parlay boys.
Armfield, was threatening with an armbar, and to Highstand's credit, he fought through it. He didn't tap. He was in some trouble, but worked through it, got to a better position, got out of the round. Second round started, and it was just a complete opposite. Highstand said, hey, watch this, and got himself a rear naked choke a minute 52 into the – oh, it was the third round. I thought it was the second round. But yeah, Armfield looked good, and actually, Armfield is a newer guy on the roster. I follow him on the Talk, so that was one of the reasons I once Aliskerov was pulled off of this card to go fight Whitaker. I picked Armfield just because of the fact I've been following him on TikTok. I kind of like his content. I'd seen what he'd been doing in training, and I figured he had a good shot. He looked good in the beginning. Didn't look too bad in the second, but yeah, third round, high stand definitely pulled ahead. Got better position and got the rear naked choke victory and a performance of the night bonus. So 50K right there. Next up was TiiiME Kawamba versus Lucas Almeida, and this was actually, I do remember this fight. This fight, Lucas Almeida looked really good. Actually, was definitely getting the better shots. Had Kawamba hurt a few times, but I want to say, where were they fighting? They were in Vegas. For some reason, I feel like TiiiME Kawamba was getting a pretty good pop. But Almeida got the victory. It looks like he had bounced back. If I remember right, Almeida had been on a little bit of a skid. It dropped at least one or two. Let me double check this.
Yeah, I had to quit pulling up my SureDog because whenever I would have a SureDog tab open, all my browser tabs would freeze randomly. I don't know why.
See, I got it ran through the mobile.
It's probably what I should do, but I'm actually using my mobile as my flashlight right now because my light's still gone. So my phone's propped up behind my. It fell off the back of my desk, and the way my room is arranged, I need like a crane to get that bitch out of there.
Gotcha. I still need to get myself a ring. Hopefully, and I've been talking about it for a minute. I'd like an official setup. I'd like to have me a microphone where I could be like, this is what happened, and then round 3. I would feel more professional having a microphone.
Yes.
You see, there you go. Yes. But yeah, Almeida had been on a little bit of a skid prior to last night. He had beat Trezano back in June of 2022, but then lost in June of 2023 to Pat Sabatini, lost in December to Andre Touchy-Feely by TKO or KO. So yeah, this fight against Kawamba got himself a unanimous decision victory, kind of got himself back pointed in the right direction. Co-main event of last weekend's card was Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Miles Johns. And Johns with the unanimous decision victory. Johns looked really good in this fight. Andrade is tough as hell, though. Let me tell you, like, one thing I feel like Miles Johns probably needs to do a little bit better is putting some combos together because he was waiting for one big shot. He knows he's got the power. So he was looking for that one shot to put him out, and he had him rocked a few times. And I feel like if he would have followed up or set it up with some combos, probably would have done a little bit better and actually got himself a finish. But I digress. Again, Miles Johns unanimous decision victory, so got himself another dub. In the main event of the evening, we had Alex Perez, and actually, hold on, I forgot. Yeah, with there was a couple fights that fell off of this one because who was your parlay pick again?
I don't know either.
It was Tagir Ulanbekov.
Bro, I found a lightning bug in my fucking room just now. I don't know how he got in here.
But yeah, no, you had picked up Tagir Ulanbekov. You tried to pick Aliskerov, but I told you I had him. You picked Ulanbekov, and Ulanbekov had to pull out. I think he had an illness or something prior to the fight, so that got scrapped. I tried to holler at you to get a new parlay pick, but you was too busy counting cards. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Playing spades.
So, really quick before I forget, we are officially 20 fight cards in this year, and Cornbread's still in the lead with 15 dubs. Me and you are tied at 11 and 9.
Oh shit! Okay.
And we only 4 behind the leader right now, so I'm okay with it. Definitely, probably halfway through the year, halfway through the fight cards. There's more than 4 fights left in the year, so we definitely got a shot at catching up. But main event was actually Andre's pick.
Andre Touchy-Feely.
Parlay boys.
Was Alex Perez versus Tatsuro Taira. And first round actually was kind of back and forth. Perez was getting some decent shots. Like I heard a lot of people after the fight complaining, like, "Oh, we ain't got to worry about Taira in the flyweight division anymore because he's been exposed." The fuck he did. Like he held his own. I feel like he wanted to kind of feel him out a little bit. Wasn't going straight for the takedown. Wanted to kind of test himself against an actual legitimate stand-up striker. Second round started though, and the second Taira decided he wanted this to go to the ground, it went to the ground. And in Perez's credit, he was down, maybe 5-10 seconds, and then was able to get himself up, got himself against the cage, got himself up. But as he was getting up, left his back open, and Taira instantly grabbed his back, got the hooks in. So he had the body triangle in and on his back. And I'll tell you what, I've never seen a fighter do this, having the back and having a body triangle, but then working, like snaking himself around like a goddamn cobra and like getting to the side of him while still keeping the body triangle in and getting some good shots, dragged him back down. And as he dragged him down, Perez injured his knee. So it was a TKO stoppage. It wasn't technically a submission. Taira got the dub by a TKO because of Alex Perez's knee injury. Want to wish a speedy recovery to Alex Perez. I haven't really heard anything more on how serious the shit was, but he was in a lot of pain when it happened. So hopefully he has a speedy recovery. Speaking of a speedy recovery, and I'm not talking about my broken ass toe that I don't even know what I did to it. I sent y'all a picture in group chat and you said, "Oh, you must have been taking them Chael Sonnen toe stomps."
Yep. Looking like John Jones over there.
Yeah, no, I was out boating, and I'm pretty sure I probably jammed it against the fucking rock because we was in some shallow water at one point. Didn't notice it. We got home. I got in the hot tub and was getting out of the hot tub. I said, "Why is my toe black? Like, what is going on here? That kind of hurts." And yep, it's broken. But I'm not talking about that. My son actually yesterday was playing some football and broke his clavicle.
Oh, damn. Where's your clavicle at? Is that like somewhere up
collarbone.
here?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I got a
sucks.
call from his mom. He was screaming in the background. I felt so bad for dude. And sure enough, broke it. It's a compound, I think, like separated like 1.8 centimeters. He's got an appointment for Friday. Find out if it floated back, and if not, they're gonna have to set it and make sure that it heals properly. But shout out to you, Mr. Obi-Wan Kobe. Dad loves you, and I hope that you heal up good. I'm actually probably traveling down on Friday for that appointment, just to kind of be there for the emotional and mental support, But so interesting weekend. I break my toe, then my son breaks his collarbone. I guess the story is he was playing some football with a friend. The friend's mom was out there, and they were showing off a football move, and it went wrong. The kid landed on him and broke it. I guess really though, you only need about 6 pounds of pressure on your clavicle for it to break.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty flimsy bone. I actually, side note, broke my clavicle when I was like 3 years old. I barely remember it, but it happened. We were on a houseboat on a sandbar in Iowa, and my mom decided to put me to sleep on the top bunk of the houseboat. And my sister's like, "No, you don't put him up there. He's gonna fall off and get hurt." And sure enough, I fell off and got hurt. I kind of remember the fall. I remember getting back into the marina. I just remember the lights of the hotel that our marina was by. I remember being teary-eyed, but I don't remember going to the hospital. I don't remember the healing process. I don't remember shit. I'm pretty sure that's just trauma, and I blocked it out. But that was UFC Fight Night, Perez versus Taira. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 6.
Mid.
Yeah, it was mid. I thought this one was gonna be fire, and it just wasn't what I thought. Looking ahead though, next weekend we've got the first ever Saudi Arabia card, and new main event is again Robert Whitaker versus Ikram Aliskarov in the main event, co-main event, and this is actually going to be Dre's parlay pick, and he is picking Sergey Pavlovich over Alexander Volkov. So write it down, take a picture, punch it in. Let's get these locked in. Get that shit out of here.
I can't because my phone is my
Yeah.
studio light right now.
I'm gonna write it down and then I'll send it in
All right, perfect.
group chat. That way you can lock it in officially. I've kind of been going back and forth about what I want to pick. Like, should I ride with my original pick and go with Aliskerov, or I just don't want to bet against Bobby Knuckles, man.
The odds are very close.
Yeah, we're looking at it, and this is according to the site, so you never know. But they got Robert Whitaker as a minus 148 favorite, Aliskerov as a plus 124 dog. You also got Kelvin Gastelum versus Daniel Rodriguez, Muhammad Naimov versus Felipe Lima, Johnny Walker versus Volkan Ozdemir, and then the prelims you got Shara Bullet Magomedov versus Jonathan Lauterbach. I don't even know who this other guy is because he's a goddamn silhouette on their website. You got Nasser Hakparas versus Jared Flash Gordon, Renat Fakhreddinov versus Nicholas Dolby, Kyung Ho Kang versus Nguyen Gafarov, Magomed Gadaskayev versus Brendan Hibiro. And kicking off the night, you got Zhao Long versus Chungao Lee. You got South Korea versus China. Uh-oh. Aren't they beefing right now? Isn't China like ready to smack the shit? No, that's Taiwan that they going after right now.
Oh yeah.
Being racist over here.
But if you ask China, Taiwan doesn't exist. That's like the whole thing. Taiwan claims independence from China, but China's like, nah, you're China, bro.
But they do exist because I used to see Taiwan on all the fucking toys I used to get back in the day.
Yeah, I know. I think basically the whole world acknowledges it except for China.
Oh, so China's just being a bitch about it.
I think so, but I don't really. I'm very, very ill-informed on the situation, to be honest.
Gotcha.
That's just. I remember having a conversation at one point about that, and that's what someone told me. People tell me all kinds of stupid shit, though, so who knows?
Gotcha. Well, all I'm just kind of looking at some of these fights. Johnny Walker versus Volkan Ozdemir. This is a pick 'em fight, both minus 110. The biggest odds I'm seeing difference-wise is Gastelum's a minus 250 favorite over Daniel Rodriguez, and I don't hate it. D-Rod was it's been out of commission for a little bit. I want to say his last fight, he took a loss against Ian Gary, got TKO'd against Ian Gary back in May of last year. Took a little bit of time off. Actually, I had heard that he had been cut or left the UFC or asked to be dropped. Probably took some time off, and then they brought him back in.
They're feeding Nicholas Dalby. It's Nicholas Dalby's plus 280 to fuck right off.
Yeah, minus 355. I'll tell you what, I'll let you pick before locking in my final pick here.
Renat, fuck right off. No, that's not my pick. Let's see. Just because I think that he's a hot commodity and they're gonna feed him a can, Shara Magomedov.
Oh, Shara Bullet, gotcha. I was gonna say the fact the guy's a silhouette is another dead giveaway.
Yeah, and I think that guy's got like a little bit of. I think that they like push him a little bit. He's got a little bit of potential star power.
Well, and the reason he got a star power is because he looks like a Russian villain. Dude is like straight up got cataract, right eye, looks like a Bond villain.
Yeah, I think he looks like a pirate or something. I don't know.
Pirate. I can see it. I just can't pick against Bobby Knuckles, so give me Gastelum.
Okay. Kevin Gastelum's been doing pretty good at welterweight, if I remember correctly, since moving down.
I think so. I think he had a decision loss, actually, his last go out. Yeah, he lost a unanimous decision to Sean Brady, but he didn't look bad.
Yeah, and Brady's pretty good. He's no bum.
And Magomedov. All right. So, we got Sergey Pavlovich, Kelvin Gastelum, and Shara Bullet Magomedov for the official It's Almost Time three-way parlay.
Parlay, boys.
But I'll message all of that to you, and you can lock it in when need be.
Yes, sir.
Looking ahead a little bit because we got through that the fight night card a little bit faster than I expected, but I think it's more so because I didn't watch half of them fuckers and I don't want to be talking about shit I don't know about. But
Fair.
UFC 303 again was originally supposed to be McGregor versus Chandler. Finally, doesn't happen. Instead, we got Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prohaska 2. Co-main event, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. And I'm already telling you right now that Lopez is going to be Cornbread's picks for the next week's card. He's got to represent family. That's his other son, his other Hispanic son, or no, Brazilian son in this case. But personally, and I know this might be a little bit of a hot take, but I feel like UFC 303 is a better card now due to the fact that McGregor and Chandler dropped out. Don't get me wrong, everybody wants to see McGregor fight, but competition-wise, the implications of what it has for rankings and possible future matches, this card is stronger. You got Ortega up against a really big test, and even with Ortega being ranked number 3 and Lopez being ranked number 14, they have Lopez on the site anyways as a minus 135 favorite against number 3. Pereira is a slight betting favorite in the main event, minus 162 to plus 136. You got Anthony Smith versus Carlos Olberg. Olberg is a minus 500 favorite against Anthony, and I don't hate the odds. I feel like Anthony Smith is a little overrated. I give him credit though. The dude is game to fight anybody at any time. If they need somebody to step in, he's a company man. He will take the bullet, so to speak. He will fall on the grenade. You got Myra Bueno Silva versus Macy Chiasson. And then opening up the pay-per-view, you have Machado Gary versus Michael Venom Page, a.k.a. Mr. MVP. That should be a decent one. Ending off the prelims, we got Joe Pyfer, though, versus Marc-Andre Barriault. You got Cub. I didn't even know Cub was still fighting. Cub Swanson versus Andre Feely. Charles Jourdain versus Gene Silva. Ooh, I might have spoke too soon. Peyton Talbot's fighting on this card as well, and that might actually be Dre's pick. And actually, nope, I'm going to call it now. He can't do it because the dude's a minus 1050 favorite. None of that gimme shit. You earn your fucking picks, god damn it. Especially with a 4-fight lead.
Yeah, that's a fucking, what do they call it? I don't know, the type of match that is predetermined.
Yeah, no, and they really they want Talbot to win. They are pushing Talbot. He did really good on Contender Series. He had a really good pro career up to that point, like even in the regional scene, has done really good. And if I remember right, yeah, he is undefeated, 8-0 right now. So they're going to be pushing him. They're probably going to give him a couple more padded fights just to kind of make a better name for himself. He's been drawing a lot of comparisons to Sean O'Malley. He says he dislikes it. It's just like he said he likes O'Malley as a fighter, but he hates being compared to any fighter. He's like, nah, just compare me to me. You know, watch what I do, and then I'm me. I'm not like anybody else. But I feel like every fighter is hoping they can say that. But yeah, that's this is again a way better card, I think, with the shakeups and the changeups. I was really hoping though that the Jamal Hill and Carlos Olberg fight happened. I just wanted to see Hill take another L and try to cope with this one because he probably still would have been complaining about 300. I wasn't even in the right mindset, you know. Alex fucking slept me so goddamn bad and had my fucking vagina so fucking hurt that I couldn't concentrate on number 13. I didn't know what to do.
Yep.
It's all Alex's fault.
Yep. Anybody's fault but mine.
And I'm gonna show you what was supposed to happen. Okay.
He's the perfect fighter, and he would never lose if it wasn't for the judges or the commission or the UFC or the opponent or the injuries or the referee or the judges.
Or just always something else. It's never his talent, right? Or lack thereof.
Yeah, it's definitely not he who decided to stand toe-to-toe with Alex.
Yeah, and it wasn't him who touched Alex's glove after the fact and actually threw the punch first before getting slapped.
I just think he's like, if you have, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Can't imagine coming from basketball and then thinking you could stand with a guy that comes from kickboxing. Like, it makes no sense. You got to be stupid. It's the only explanation.
No, for sure. For sure. I definitely agree with you. He just, again, I don't think he can get out of his own way, his own head. Even again, with him getting slept the way he did. Oh, I didn't take any damage. Most of the fall was from me falling. Of course, that's what falling is a fall. But you were supposed to say damage. You can't even talk proper. And then this dude wants to cap and get on socials and start calling out fans. Hey, come to my gym and I got 20 racks right now since y'all need it so bad. Like, bro, you are talking shit to people that are supposed to help your popularity. I don't see this going good for you. If it keeps going this way, man, he gonna be a forgotten name here within the next few years. If that.
What was the 20 rack challenge?
Oh, just to come in and fight him. But
I'll fight him.
He was
Get to win?
enough, no, well, he was dumb enough not to specify in the first post that you had to beat him. He just said, I got 20K that anybody wants to step in here and fight me. I was like, bro, I'll go over there and I won't even throw anything. I'll let you knock me out for 20 racks.
Yeah, I'll take his ass to the ground. He's probably better on the ground than me, but I know I can't stand with his ass, so.
Yep. But no, it just, there's a lot of stuff that be coming out of his mouth that just is better in his mouth.
Yeah, my camp will consist of me eating cheeseburgers to gain weight.
Oh no, I'm about the same weight, if not a little bit, bro. I'm rocking dad bod hardcore right now. I don't know what's going on. I guess I am almost 40, so I got that going for me, or not going for me.
I've been gaining weight since I started working at the nursing home because it's a full kitchen stocked with tons of ingredients. So basically, I can make myself whatever I want, whenever I want, whenever I'm at work, and just anything I can imagine. Basically, I can cook it.
Okay, and they allow you to eat.
Yeah,
that's what's up. Since we ran a little fast, I'm gonna look a little ahead. After UFC 303, we have UFC Fight Night, Rose Namajunas versus Macy the Future Barber. And let me make sure. Yep, that's her nickname. I'm actually a big Macy fan. I like what she's been doing. I like the trajectory she's on. I think she got a contendership spot a couple fights back and dropped it, but you're gonna have that, and especially in the women's division. She's got wins over Cinnamon Marinara. She's got a win over Hebos. She's got a win over Andrea Lee. A win over Jessica I. Man, she got a split decision victory over Macy Barber. She lost to Grasso back in February of 21. And actually, yeah, she's only got 2 losses in her career. I definitely could see this girl being a champ here in the future. I'm not going to say like right away, but in the next year or two, I could definitely see her making a push to grabbing a belt. Moving forward after that, we got a UFC Fight Night is still to be determined for the main event. That's going to be on July 20th at the UFC Apex. I thought they were doing away with Apex fights. Y'all just need to bite the fucking bullet, close it down, turn it into a training center, turn it into like your contender series spot, and just start traveling. UFC 304 though, this should be a decent card. You got the main event again at Leon Edwards versus Bilal. Remember the name Muhammad. I'm actually pretty excited for this. I know a lot of people don't like Bilal's style, but dude is hilarious on socials. Leon Edwards was talking about he brought in a dietitian and a sleep specialist to help him get on the proper schedule for this 304 card. And Bilal said, oh, don't worry, on July 25th, or no, on July 27th, I'll just knock you out and put you to sleep. And I was like, bro,
he ain't knocking out shit, brother.
Hey, you never know, man. He TKO'd Sean Brady, but he also had Khabib in his corner. So we'll see how it goes. Co-main event that night, though, was the fictitious heavyweight champion interim belt, Tom Aspinall versus number 4 ranked Curtis Blades. They fought prior, and I think it ended like 15, 20 seconds into the first round because Aspinall's knee blew out. I want to know how people think that Aspinall would dog walk Jones when his leg gives out on him. Like, it does not make sense to me. But I guess you never know. People like to talk shit. I've just heard the same song and dance for the past 15 years. Oh, well, if he fought so-and-so, he's getting worked. Oh, if he fought DC, he's getting worked. These are the same motherfuckers that hold on to the fact that they believe Dominic Reyes beat Jones. And again, there was some close moments in the first couple rounds of that fight, but he didn't beat him. You got to legitimately beat the champion. And if you go back and you watch how that fight ended, it was Jones basically in full mount, raining down elbows and punches on a defeated Dominic Reyes. Reyes also went on a 4-fight skid after that. Actually just got his first dub back a couple weeks back. So, we'll see what happens there. We also, though, got Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. I can't wait for Green to go in there and show Paddy what a real fighter is and kill this fucking hype train once and for all. People be riding Paddy's jock so fucking hard. And I
don't really like Paddy, but I like Bobby even less. So I'm fucking with Paddy on this one.
Why don't you like Bobby Green?
I basically the same exact reason I don't like Jamal Hill. He's just annoying. He's like the same type of fucking annoying as Jamal Hill. He just says dumb shit all the time and just ridiculous shit. And I hate his beard. I just think he's a douchebag, basically. Like, basically, if I wouldn't hang out with him, I basically don't like him. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
Well, if you get a chance, if you get some free time, go check out Rampage Jackson's podcast he did with Bobby Green right before the Grant Dawson fight. Okay. I think you might actually fuck with Bobby after that, because I was kind of on the same page as you until I saw that podcast. And he talked some shit. But one thing I guess I gotta fuck with him is that that is who he is. That's how he always talks. He's kind of hood, but he grew up that way. Like, this dude just loves the fight game, likes to talk shit, and most times he likes to back it up. So I'm Team Green on that one.
I don't like his fighting style either. Like, I don't like him as a person, and I don't like his fighting style. It's stupid. I mean, it's enough to get him where he's at, but there's a reason he's not fucking champ when you fucking fight with your hands down here like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no, he could work on some defense. I'll give you that. I'll give you that for sure. And I'll tell you what, the first couple of rounds of his fight with him and Tony Ferguson was giving him that work. I think he got through it though, and kind of got kind of stole a victory there at the end. I feel like Ferguson kind of wore out, and he was able to get a sub, I think, with like 20 seconds left in the third round. Another fight on 304, you got Muhammad Makayev versus Manel Kopp. I almost put money on it that this is going to a decision. So yeah, if you like that over 1.5, or you like them long game parlays like you do, there's one to invest. Makayev and Kopp ending in decision. You also got Molly McCann on the card versus Bruno Brasil. Mick Parkin versus Lukas Brzeski. A couple other fighters that I've seen, but I don't know a ton about. So 304 should be decent. I think it's kind of fucked though. Again, that they're over in the UK for that card, and they're having our regular start time. So that means that their main event isn't happening until like 5 a.m. local time.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like they should have it go on it. They should have it start the main card at 9 p.m. UK time. I love me an early fight card.
I looked into this, and they apparently in the past they've experimented with doing that, and their pay-per-views just absolutely fucking bomb every time.
Is that why they prefer to have them go on at night? Well, because first of all, I know the United States, we carry the pay-per-views because we dumb enough to pay for them. Right. Or at least most people is. And yeah, so, and I guess that does make sense because you probably get people lit on a Saturday night, like, oh, there's fights and I can have people over, we could drink. So it probably does work to the UFC's advantage putting them on at the time that they put them on. But I've also seen a lot of people say, man, I love me an early fight card. I like watching some fights and still having a few hours left in the night to maybe go do something else.
Yeah.
Shit, if they had earlier fight cards like that on Saturdays, we'd probably be doing the podcast Saturday night because it'd be easier.
Yeah, that would be cool, actually.
But after the UFC 304, the last fight I'm gonna touch on for now is gonna be a UFC Fight Night in actually United Arab Emirates. It's gonna be Fight Island. Main event: Corey fucking Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. They have Sandhagen as a plus 205 dog right now, and I know Nurmagomedov is good. I'm rocking with Corey on this one though. You also got the comeback of somebody you don't really care to see fight, and really I don't see the reason that they're fighting either. But Nick
Who's
Diaz
it?
is making his return against Vicente Luque. You also have another fighter that should
Are
hang
you
it
looking
up.
at Nami? Oh, you're on 304. Okay.
No, I'm on one past 304.
Oh.
The Yas Island card that's going to be on August 3rd. And that one we get a 2 p.m. start time for the main card there. So they're doing it right. I think it's technically going to be Sunday over there. But you got Tony Ferguson also versus Michael Chiesa on this card. Personally, the fight that they should have made, it should be Ferguson versus Diaz. Call it a Legends fight. I mean, if they want both of them to fight so bad, I feel like that's a more evenly matched thing too than Ferguson and Chiesa or Luque versus Diaz. Luque is ranked number 13, and they're putting him against Nick Diaz, who hasn't fought in probably 2 years.
Yeah, I actually would have preferred that too, but Nick
Actually,
was
almost
probably like,
3 years.
I want a fucking title shot, ranked guy.
Well, and I want to know what Nick Diaz did to piss off the UFC brass that they're feeding him to a shark like Luque. They want Diaz to lose from the sounds of it, like putting him against a ranked opponent, and you haven't fought since September of 2021. He looked okay in the first round against Lawler, but he gave up halfway through that fight. You could tell he didn't want to be there. He kind of gave up, and then Lawler even asked him in real time after the fight, like, hey, man, are you okay? Like, are you good? And I'm not talking about, are you hurt? Like, no, are you good in life? Like, what's going on, man? And Diaz just didn't really seem like he wanted to be there. I will always have love for the Diaz brothers, and especially Nick Diaz. What he did in his prime, and leading up to the long ass suspension for fucking weed. Like, they did this dude so bogus. Robbed this dude of his prime years over a fucking plant.
Oh shit, Mackenzie Dern's fighting. Hopefully we get to see her in the full mount position.
What's the over under that we get to see that? Ooh, she fighting Lupi Godinez. Okay.
Yes.
And then Cheeto Vera versus Davison Figueiredo. I kind of like this fight too.
I do too. I think Cheeto's gonna be too long for him though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Davison's looked really good at bantamweight though.
He is. I just think that Cheeto's long and lanky, and I guess
Like
we'll see.
an indestructible chin.
Yeah, that too.
That's one thing I think he's got going for him. But if it goes to the ground,
yeah, it's hard telling.
With a good advantage. If it stays standing though, I could see Vera getting the dub either by TKO or by decision.
Yeah, it's hard telling.
And you could already rule out the first round because he's probably going to drop it to Figueroa with how slow he gets started.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, and it's a 3-round fight, and he's probably gonna not intentionally throw, but he just usually ends up throwing the first round.
Just a slow start.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, one more honorable mention, and it's actually the only fight announced for this card. It's going to be in Perth, Australia, UFC 305 on August 17th. And you have the main event of the evening, Dricus du Plessis, and the return of the last stylebender, Israel Adesanya. A lot of people are bitching. It's like, oh, I don't understand why this guy's getting another title shot. Well, if you understand, he had 5 defenses. He was basically clearing out the division.
Then you don't understand how the UFC works. That's all I would say.
Well, no, but bro, what has Strickland done to warrant a rematch? I know it was a close decision loss that he lost to du Plessis, but then he went out there a few weeks ago and he danced with Costa for 3 rounds. Like, didn't hardly do anything. That fight was one of the most biggest letdown fights of this year as far as name and star power. It did not live up to the hype.
Yeah, winning fights is like the third best way to get a title shot. The second best way is to win fights excitingly, and the first best way to get title shots is to be popular. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, well, not only that, but
It's
and
just popular as
I'll
fuck.
throw in a fourth good way to get into the title picture, or to at least have your name thought of when it comes to title pictures. Fight when they want you to fight. Step
That
in
too,
when they
yeah.
need you to step in. Strickland's convinced that he can just sit and wait it out. And don't get me wrong, I mean, he sits for a year or two. He might get another shot, but that's the worst thing that you can fucking do in this company is sit and wait it out.
Yeah, John Jones. Everybody's gonna try to take the John Jones route, and it's not gonna work for them because they're not John Jones.
They're not John Jones. They haven't been dominant like John Jones. They don't have the star power like John Jones. And I'll give John Jones one thing that I will credit to the situation. Dana fucking loves Jones. Dude rides for Jones just the same the way that Jones rides for Dana. And Dana's a loyal fucking person. Love him or hate him. If you've got his back from day one and you never switch on him, he will ride with you forever. And I guess they both like domestic situations. No.
Both like smacking around the old lady a bit. Pop, pop, pop.
But yeah, on that note, we could call it a night. I know it's almost 10 p.m. anyways. I got to work early in the morning. We usually do this Sunday night, so I got a little bit of time to recover, regroup, all that shit. Not tonight. I appreciate you joining me. Shout out to Mr. Cornbread. I hope your technical issues get solved. It's nothing too major, that you don't lose a bunch of shit on your computer, because I know that's all you be doing on that bitch is work. But shout out to everybody who joined us tonight. The comments was a little quiet. There wasn't shit going on. This was the comments.
Fuck, I do have to be in early as shit tomorrow. Lame. Like fucking 5.
But hey, if you're here after the fact, don't forget to like. You can subscribe. We over on YouTube. We on Twitch. I mean, we just about everywhere except for fucking Facebook, because they zucked our page for some reason. I'm gonna work on getting that up for like the 15th time. I'm gonna say it, but I am gonna get it done. We'll be back at you on Sunday evening after this upcoming fight. And we'll talk about it then. I'm gonna be taking a little bit of a vacay starting on the 25th. We going up north. I should be back though Sunday night, so I don't even think I'm gonna miss I'm not gonna miss the fights, and I doubt I'm gonna miss the pod. And even if I haven't made it fully back, we'll get it figured out. But have a good night, everybody. Have a good night, Mr. Co-host. Appreciate you joining me.
Yes, sir.
This has been It's Almost Time.
Dun, 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 dun,
Ladies and
dun.
gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.